me tell you a quick little story before continuing. Went on the website I use to read manga, and I see an update for Fuka. So I was like, oh, I'll read Fuka. But then I noticed from the corner of my eye, I saw Ichigo. And I was like, what? So I click on it, see the update, and I was like, what day is it? It's bloody Wednesday. Is there something special about today? I thought it was Ichigo's birthday, but I remember that went and gone. I think. It's been a year already. I don't know. Kamikaze attack for Nemu, and Perndia is fucked. Oh no. That looks bad. Oh, wait. Baby, hold your hand 6. Waiting for love. Oh no. No way. Kubo. Mayuri-sama. No. No. What? Oh god, Mayuri. What? Where's Net? Oh my god, that's her. Was that her? That's not Perndia. Oh my god. Never. Szayel! Oh, are you in despair yet? What did I say? Seriously, feeling hopeless, aren't you, What was that? My ears aren't working well these days. Let me see your face, come on. Impossible, huh? Especially for a scientist like yourself that believes that there's an explanation for everything. There's such a... Is Szayel back? Your homunculus has died. She was a homunculus? What's so depressing about that? I remember you telling me though. Perfection is meaningless to a scientist, and that's because being perfect is the same as being hopeless. I detest perfection, was it? Szayel's back! Her death is good then. It's precisely because she's imperfect that she died. It's just so you could make something even better. What you've learned now. Oh god. Did Szayel resurrect himself? I'm sure you say something like that. I am wrong. I see. You've begun to feel that the piece of rubbish you've created is close to perfect, huh? Oh, how far you've fallen, Kurotsuchi Mayuri. Szayel's right there! Is he back? Did he resurrect himself? Did he bloody keep Gabrielle in Nemu? Or is this an illusion? You have to think this monster of a my hands are shaking. Left hand here, you know? It killed that meat doll of yours for you, and of course crushed that conceited attitude of yours as well. Alone and helpless without your bag of tricks. Even that thing you thought of as perfect is no more. If it were me, I'd be laughing my ass right off now. Huh? Whoa. Oh my. That's exactly it. To think that you of all people would be the one that sees my mistakes. It's hilarious, really. Szayel wasn't actually there. What did I say? Oh god. I see. So you've come to eat what's left of Nemu, huh? Go ahead then. I'll let you eat every last bit of her. But I'm gonna have to take her brain back. Oh, I knew something like this was gonna happen. That sizzles, doesn't it? Don't waste your time with me. Go on, eat. If you don't hurry, you'll die before you even finish. What? What's happening? Let's just say it's a little experiment of mine. I replaced her regenerative cells with one that multiply at great speed, just to see how far they can split, you know? Special organs cultivated for the purpose of breaking the walls of reason. They run amok when in an emergency, though. All this connected and controlled by the brain alone. I guess I should rephrase it better so that a fool like you can understand. If you take everything else except for the brain, you'll self-destruct from excessive regeneration. Oh my god! Okay, that was short. Extremely short of a chapter. Oh my good gracious me. Okay then. Nemu has been killed. Permanently? No. Now this is what I was worried about. When the death flags were rising for both Mayuri and Nemu, the death flags start to lean towards Nemu. However, because it's Mayuri, with him being alive, he could bring Nemu back. But because the brain is still intact, how I don't know, Mayuri is able to bring her back. That's what I'm thinking. However, let's just talk about this for a minute. The Szayel part. This was mindfuckery, to say the least. Because at times, when I say something like, oh, this battle is mirroring this, like this was mirroring, like Perndina's fight was mirroring what happened with Szayel. And this all but confirms what I said. I am in awe right now. At first, I thought Szayel was back, because at first I thought it was an illusion, but to see him standing in front of Perndia like that, I was like, fuck me, did he have Gabrielle inside her? Still, like, to resurrect himself the moment Nemu died. But no. Szayel was nothing more than an illusion, mocking Mayuri's own creation, Nemu, his homunculus. And that was a bit of a surprise. I thought she was a clone, not a homunculus. But I suppose, looking back on last week, it does kind of make sense. But when he said that, I was like, where's the equivalent exchange in this, old boy? What have you sacrificed to create life? Because there has to be a give and a take. Because if that's the case and it is not a clone, then what did Mayuri give up if Kubo is actually using that type of philosophy? Because he's either using it or he's just thrown it out the window. But to be perfectly honest, I don't really expect Kubo is using that type of philosophy. However, it would be good for for character development for Mayuri to see what he actually did give up. Again, however, this was basically mocking Mayuri's perfectionist speech, like, if Nemu was perfect, she wouldn't have died. But the same could also be said for Szayel with Gabrielle, because, you know, it was resurrecting thing. But, yeah, I don't really know. But Mayuri was surprised to be mocked by someone who he mocked for his imperfections from the past. This in itself was major character development for Mayuri in its own right. To see someone that he talked down to be talked down to by that same person. And to be perfectly honest, if someone was going to talk down to him to imagine Szayel and not Kisuke speaks volume. Because Kisuke, at the end of the day, hasn't shown any weaknesses. Szayel did. And to acknowledge his own weaknesses by being talked down to someone who had weaknesses is not beautiful, but yeah, it's beautiful. It really is, because to see someone like Mayuri, he never once said that he was perfect. I'm not saying that, but he was prideful. But to swallow his pride and be mocked by someone who considered himself to be a perfect being, which again is ludicrous, is amazing. Mayuri literally just acknowledged his failures. While this Nemu was considered a masterpiece, in her final moments, was imperfect. But was she imperfect compared to Szayel? No. What made her imperfect in Mayuri's mind was her emotions. If she kept a level head, she probably would have lived. But at the same time, I also think that while it was impossible to predict that Szayel would seep into her body and use Gabrielle, it was possible for her to predict that Perndia would survive a kamikaze attack and rip her to shreds. She sacrificed herself to save Mayuri, her father, someone she loves, waiting for love. And the funny thing is, it wasn't Mayuri that has defeated Perndia. It was Nemu. Father and daughter fighting hand in hand. Granted, it should have been Mayuri, if we're going by that concept. But at the same time, does it really matter? She was willing to give up her own life for the person she loved. And Mayuri is not going to let that sacrifice go in vain. Because at the end of the day, with what happened previous, the past 2 chapters, I think, where, you know, Mayuri was like, no, you're not allowed to die unless I say so, unless I give the word. He knew full well that Nemu was the key to defeating Perndia, but he didn't let her until that moment. Why? Because any child wants to show their mother or father how far they progressed. Nemu, the only way for Nemu to show how far she progressed was self-sacrifice, in the literal term. And to be perfectly honest, for the world that they're in, it's the most fitting, because there is no other way to show it. Granted, she did show her affections and all that by saving him beforehand, before this kamikaze attack. But at the end of the day, the only way to show that she was the masterpiece that he believed her to be was to actually show that she was the daughter that he wanted or saw in her. The potential that every parent sees in their child. This chapter was short, but sweet. The mirroring theme, the parent theme, the imperfections. I can't phrase how good this chapter is. While some may not see it as good. Again, matter of opinion. To me, this is if Perndia is dead. I'd be surprised if it isn't. I will be greatly disappointed, but at the same time I'll be happy. But let's just go on the mindset that Perndia is dead. From what Kubo was building up, this was the best way to end it. End it showing the mirror, Szayel, showing the evolution, both Mayuri and Nemu and their relationship, and the concept of proving yourself to your parent. Do I think Mayuri will bring Nemu back? I do. But at the moment, as far as things go now, if he does in the future, I'll just see how it goes. But as far as things go now, this chapter was beautiful. 10 out of 10. The chills I had reading this, the shock of seeing Szayel, everything was a masterpiece. This fight, if this is Mayuri's final fight for the arc, And, well, technically Mayuri and Nemu's. But, yeah, they normally do fight in a duo. But either way, if this is his final fight, and the Exterminators don't get resurrected by, Yamamoto... Oh, yeah, that's a little bit fiddly. There's a bit of a thing going around, I believe, that Juha's going to resurrect the Exterminators with the Bankai, Yamamoto's Bankai. But, yeah, I remember, like, you know, they have to be killed directly. But I think because they return to him, he'll be able to bring them back. The letters of the souls, his blood, whatever the fucking thing works. But anyway, 10 out of 10 chapter. It was beautiful. I'll see you next time. Good day.